The first one is, the IFC did a study just trying to document how much are we leaving off the table if we don't invest in women. And the figure they came up with was 42 billion, right? So there's 42 billion in potential returns that we are not able to leverage as investors, whether it's equity investors or debt investors, that we're leaving off the table by virtue of not investing in markets that women are currently operating in from an entrepreneurial context. So things like agriculture, where there's so many women who are farmers, who are traders within those supply chains, right? That is something that hasn't necessarily had a lot of investment from different investors. Things such as in the energy space, there's also a lot of women entrepreneurs that have emerged within that space. The second one as well is just back to sort of, if we recognize that sub-Saharan Africa is quite complex and there's different nuances, cultural nuances and cultural differences that make up sort of the consumer audience, that make up sort of the different issues and problems that we experience. You cannot have sort of a very homogeneous team that is set out to be able to solve some of the complexities and nuances that exist. So in my opinion, if you are to bring about solutions that do 10x from an investment perspective, they're going to be brought about by diverse teams because they'll be better positioned to account for some of the nuances that exist. In terms of how women relate to that, it's because the consumer market is predominantly women, right? There's a lot of women that are at the single-headed households that are making purchasing decisions increasingly. They are, getting in the fastest segment in terms of getting into the working class and the middle class. So definitely, I think there's a case to be made around, if we understand that the dynamics within the population will be shifting to kind of favor these women are starting to earn an income, starting to own land, then how can you make sure that the innovations that we're building for the future account for that changing dynamic in the population? And it can only be done if women are in the room and being funded to kind of release these innovations into the market.